Hey everyone, tonight I am working on my Dodge Neon. This is a 95, the first year they came out, has a 2.0 engine in it. And I've got a really bad oil leak in the rear main seal. I've got the tranny out, and there it is. Pretty easy to take out on this model. I've got my transmission jack right there. That makes a big help dropping that out of there. But I did mark all my bolts on my flywheel and put paint marks on it. Everything's fine here. I'm going to put a new seal in the transmission. It doesn't seem to be leaking, but if I curl up under here, I'll show you what happens. Let me grab a screwdriver. And what happens on these 2.5s, a lot of times the seal will back out. And if you look closely, you see where it's been rubbing there? It's been rubbing on the flywheel. And it's backed out. See how it's kind of backed out? So I'm going to try to go ahead and pry this out of here. And whoa, that was easy. There it goes. And there's why it's been leaking like a sieve. You can see the oil there. It's been running down. So what I'm going to do is get another seal and put in here tomorrow and put the transmission back in. Also, my rack and pinion, I've got a leak. It's leaking on the top there, so I'm going to pull this whole thing out of there while the transmission's out. It's real easy to do now. Easy access to the bolts. But it's got a little bit of a leak on one of the seals there. But my main goal was to fix this rear main seal. Had no idea that was going to be coming out of there so easy tonight. The seal was only about, I think, $10. But it did back out there pretty good. And so if you have a Neon 2.5, I believe this is a 2.0. I don't know if the 2.5s, they're probably all the same. But if you have that problem, that is your issue right there, is that rear main seal. So I just want to show everybody that tonight if you have a leak. And don't go back here and try to replace your oil sending unit. It may look like it's leaking, but 95% of the time it is not. I did replace mine, and it didn't help. It just kept on leaking. So that was my problem. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up tonight and go ahead and order a new seal and get this installed tomorrow. And I'll make a quick video, show you what I've done as I put the new seal in. So there you go, guys. So don't pull your hair out too much. This basically is your seal that leaks back here. And if you got a transmission jack, you can pop this transmission out. It took me about, I'm going to say 2 hours by myself, 2.5 hours. I did have to pull the axles out. They're laying off the side right there. And let's see, this axle on this side actually has a stud broke off on the thing here. So I'm going to have to replace a stud there. I don't know why it's broke off. It's missing, but you can see there's only 4 on that hub. So I'm going to have to pop that up there tomorrow. But let me get up here and show you down inside the top side of it. See, once you get your battery box off, it's real easy to work on. And there's a couple little minor brackets you got to take off on the top. But I wasn't going to go through every step. If you're a mechanic, you've worked on a lot of cars, you'll figure that out. It's pretty easy to pop the transmissions out of these. And there's that one particular bracket that's bolted onto the throttle body on the outside of the transmission. Now the starter wasn't too bad. The one bolt that holds the starter on the top, it actually goes in this way, and the threads go into the starter. And the bottom bolt on the starter down here, it comes off right back in there. I don't know if you can see it. See if you can see that bolt. There it is. I hold my light at the same time, but there's your starter bolt for the there's the hole for the starter bolt. So once you get that in there, the starter bolt's on, and the starter just kind of hanging there. It's not really going to go anywhere. And of course you got to put a little jack under your engine, just kind of hold it up, because this model does not have a motor mount in the back. It has one up front on this side, and I didn't have to take the motor mount off. I actually left the bolts to the front of the engine bolted there to give it some more support. And of course the front I didn't even have to mess with. So let me stand up here real quick. I got jacked up. I got tires back here and wood, and I got a block and a tire over there under the frame, so it's not going to go anywhere. It's pretty safe. Alright, well that's it. I'm going to order my seal tomorrow and go ahead and drop this in, and I'll give you guys an update tomorrow how it went, and start putting it back together. after I get my rack out tonight and look at it, and maybe just put another one in tomorrow, get a used one. Alright guys, I will check in a little bit later. And like I said, there's the flywheel. I wanted to show one other thing here, and where that seal had backed out, I set up it just right. You can see where it was rotting on the back flywheel. See those marks all the way around there? Hey, it won't hurt anything. I'll just clean that up. It doesn't seem to be too bad, just some slight markings. But that's why that seal was leaking. I've never seen one back out like that, but they say they do that. Alright, I just wanted to insert that in the video clip just so you will know. And the flywheel seems to be okay. You can see where it's been slinging the oil out. The flywheel as it spins. And I don't see any cracks. Everything looks good, checks out, so I'm good to go tomorrow. And I did put paint on my torque converter versus the outside of the flywheel, so you know where it goes back. And when I take the transmission, I usually put in some plastic and I drain out some of the fluid just to make it a little bit messier. It's really hard to drain fluid out of those transmissions. They don't have a plug. You either got to drain it out one of the axle joints, or you can just pop off the tranny pan real quick and drain out all the excess and bolt it back on and take your transmission out that way. Alright, that's it. I'll go ahead and order the seal tomorrow, and I'll give you guys an update. Alright, I got my new seal today. This one has an extra gasket. It's for some of the 2.5s, I guess. You don't need that. Basically, there was my old one, and there's the new one, and it looks pretty good. They give you a plastic sleeve. You slide that over the back of the crank, and that just kind of helps it to keep from damaging the plastic rubber seal there as you slide it over the crank. It says they do not recommend a repair sleeve for this particular engine, and also you got to put this thing on dry. Do not use with a repair sleeve. And they give you a little thing here telling you don't put any kind of lubricant on it, or do not put any kind of sealer on this seal as you stick it on. So I went ahead and took the plate off, but I didn't have to do that because I thought it needed I thought it had the other piece backer for this, but it doesn't need it. And I'll show you real quick. Let me crawl under here. There it is. Some of the engines have a thing like that that goes around, but this one doesn't have the extra piece, so it's going to go in like that. And I'm going to use a hammer, a little tiny hammer like this, and I've got a little socket. I'm going to kind of start it around the edge there and slowly tap it back inside there. I have nothing big enough to knock that in, but I'll have to just take my time and shove it in. So I'll go ahead and put this in, and I'll be back here in a minute and show you what it looks like when it's installed. Alright, she's in, and I only took like 2 minutes. I took my little socket and I kind of tapped it, knocked it in, and I took a small bolt, something a little smaller, and knocked it in there. It's got to set in there pretty far. If it's only setting out to the edge of the block, you got to go farther than that. You got to go all the way in there with that. Make sure it's down there good and deep so it doesn't work its way back out. All I got to do is pull this plastic sleeve here off, and boom, there it is. It's off. And it's in there pretty good. Brand new seal. Can't believe that worked out like that, but something at the factory, I guess they did. It must have happened. And all I gotta do now is go ahead and do my rack and pinion. It's out. I don't know if you can see that, but I got the rack and pinion now. I'm putting some new seals in it, and I'm ready to put this baby back together. So once I get this engine back together, I mean not the engine, I get the transmission back in, and we'll start it and we'll check for leaks and see how she is. But I think should be okay now. And I did not turn this crank. It's still lined the way I want it with the white paint and all that. So that's what you got to do to put a rear seal in this particular vehicle. So if you're going to do this, good luck, and make sure your car's jacked up nice and good so you don't get hurt. And hopefully everything will go okay. So thanks for watching this video, and good luck, guys. Hopefully I help somebody out. Alright, got it all back together, and I've been driving for about a week, and I have no oil leaks. Nice and dry under there. And worked out pretty good. It looks like at this point I'm okay. I'll be driving it for quite a while. and it looks like the oil seal leaked there between the motor and transmission. All that work paid off. So there you go. If you got to put a seal in one of these, that's what you got to do. And hopefully it'll run for a while, because it gets great gas mileage, like 35 miles per gallon. It's 1995 2.0. Right there. And it's pretty clean. Motor car. So there you go, guys. Good luck. Thanks for watching, and be careful when you're working on your car, and hopefully everything will work out. If you have any questions, I will try to answer them when I check in from time to time. Later.